Hello and welcome to the BYU Library Family History webinar. We're glad you could join us today. I'm Olivia Tuller and I'll be your host for this webinar. This is a pre-recorded lecture with no Q&A section. However, the speaker's contact information will be provided at the end of the webinar. If you have technical difficulties during the webinar, please use the chat box and I can address your concerns. You are welcome to use the chat box during the webinar for comments, insights, and questions. However, all questions will be addressed at the end of the presentation. Our next webinar is on February 22nd with Catherine Grant. She will be giving a presentation on observation and common sense, two valuable family history tools that everyone can use. If you would like to access a previous webinar, please visit our webinar index on our website or search on our YouTube channel. All of our webinars are recorded and uploaded by the following Monday for your convenience. We also post links to recordings and other updates on our Facebook and Twitter accounts. For today's webinar, we are pleased to hear from Larry Jensen on using German maps and atlases. This is the 6th lecture in a series on German genealogical research by Larry Jensen. You can view the first 5 videos on our YouTube page. Before we begin, here's a little bit about Larry. Larry has a Bachelor of Science from Brigham Young University and is the author of a genealogical handbook of German research. He is also the co-author of Maps of the German Empire of 1871 and German Genealogical Digest. He is now retired with 35 years work experience with the Salt Lake Family History Library. And we'll now turn the time over to Larry.
Welcome to webinar number 6 on using German maps and atlases. When I worked at the Family Search Library in Salt Lake City, one of the things that patrons wanted to do was find the town where their ancestor was from on a detailed map. More importantly, maps are one of the major tools used in the genealogical research process. In this webinar, I will be covering a number of topics. The beginning slide number for each topic is given on the right. The topics include ways in which maps help us in genealogical research, showing the geographical location where our ancestors lived, conducting an area search, determining places of origin, tracing ancestral movements, understanding historical changes in nobility in provincial areas, locating ancestral records in large cities, additional resources used to locate places on maps. Using maps and atlases, they help us to understand the geographical area in which our ancestors lived. They help us to better understand the history of our ancestral area. They help us also to know and understand the cultural area our ancestors lived in. They help provide clues that can lead us to records and resources. By learning how to use maps and atlases, it requires us also to learn to use other reference and research tools. And they help us to learn and understand research procedures that can help us to find and trace our family lines. Locating places on maps of the 1871 German Empire using the Myers Gazetteer. One of the easiest and quickest ways of locating places in the German Empire of 1871 on a map is by using the online Myers-Orts and Verkehrslexikon, or the Myers Gazetteer for short. To search for this gazetteer online, enter Myers-Orts und Verkehrslexikon online. From the search results, click on the Myers Gazetteer, an online searchable version with maps. Type in the name of the town that you're looking for. In this example, we're using the town of Stegmansdorf. Then click Enter. Next, click on the town to bring up the full entry. Click on the map below the entry. It will take you to the town on the map shown with a red marker. The town of Stegmansdorf is shown underlined here on this map. Be aware that not every locality listed in the Myers Gazetteer online has a map. This is still being worked on. For places that do not have a Myers map, there is still a way to find a place on a detailed map that is not indexed. If the town of Stegmansdorf did not have a map in the Myers Gazetteer online, the following process will show how to look it up using the following resources. The first one is the Myers Gazetteer online. The second one is the Book of Maps of the German Empire of 1871, which is available as a handout for this lecture. And the third one is the topographic maps of Germany from 1860 to 1965, scale 1 to 100,000, available on ancestry.com. Going back to the Myers entry of Stegmansdorf, it has been extracted and shown in Roman print to the right of the entry. It shows that Stegmansdorf is in the Prussian province of Ostpreußen or East Prussia. The county seat is in the city of Königsberg. The district and military record offices are in the city of Braunsberg. The court records were kept in the city of Wurmditt. The civil registry records were kept in the city of Wusen, and the local government office was in the town of Bazin. One other thing that the entry shows is that the Roman capital letter E refers to the Eisenbahnstation, or the train station. According to this, the train station was 11 kilometers away from Stegmansdorf at the town of Heinrichau. These are all important, and you need to make a note of them as they pertain to your own ancestral town. For a more complete understanding of German records and jurisdictions, see my Brigham Young University foreign webinar, Understanding German Records and Jurisdictions. On this German Empire map, East Prussia is in the upper right-hand corner. In the book, Maps of the German Empire of 1871, the province of Westpreußen or West Prussia and Ostpreußen or East Prussia are on the same page. Finding Stegmansdorf on a detailed map begins with the general map of East Prussia. To narrow our area search, we begin by finding the place of the largest record office, which was the county seat, located in the city of Königsberg. Finding it on the general map is easy because it'll be one of the largest cities. Finding it narrows our search to the west central area of the province. Next are the district and military record offices found in the city of Braunsberg. On the map, Braunsberg is a bit smaller than the county seat. Next is the court record office in the town of Wurmditt. On the map, it is southeast of Braunsberg and much smaller. The next record office is the civil registry, and it is in the town of Wusen, northwest of Wurmditt. At this point, this map is not detailed enough to show Stegmansdorf. The next step is to access the detailed map of the German Empire found on Ancestry.com. After logging in, click on the Search tab. Next, click on the card catalog. Under keyword, type Germany topographic and click Search. This will bring up Germany topographic maps 1860 to 1965. Under the heading Browse this collection and under Sheet Range, click on the down arrow circled in green. Under Choose, click on Übersichtsblatt, meaning Overview Map. Under Year, click on All. This is the Übersichtsblatt, or the Overview page. It is the key to the 674 maps that make up the German Empire. The area we need to focus on is the East Prussia area in the top right corner. We need to determine the map that has the town of Stegmansdorf on it. In the west central area, we find the map that has Königsberg, then Braunsberg, then Wurmditt. That is the closest we can narrow it down. Wurmditt is map number 102. Going back to the sheet range, we select maps 100 to 199. Next, we go to map 102, Wurmditt, and click on it. This is not the full map. This is only 1/6 of it. Here is Wurmditt on the bottom right, and on the top left is Wusen. Stegmansdorf should be on it, but it could take some time to physically look for it. There is an easier way. The Myers Gazetteer said that the train station for the town of Stegmansdorf was 11 kilometers away at Heinrichau. This black and white line on the map is the railroad tracks. By following it, it takes us right to Heinrichau. Now we need to find Stegmansdorf, which is 11 kilometers away. At the bottom of the map is a scale in kilometers. We use a piece of paper to measure off 11 kilometers. Going back to Heinrichau on the map, we do a radius search with our piece of paper until we come to Stegmansdorf. We have shown two ways of looking up the town of Stegmansdorf on detailed maps, both being when it was a part of the German Empire. After World War II, an area of East Prussia that Stegmansdorf was a part of went to Poland. To find Stegmansdorf in the modern atlas, the locality name must be changed from German to the modern Polish name. The Gazetteer Amtliches Gemeinde Ortsnamenverzeichnis der deutschen Ostgebiete unter fremder Verwaltung is a gazetteer that provides the German to the Polish name after World War II. It has been microfilmed and digitized on Family Search Library microfilm number 824243, item number 2. This book begins on microfilm image number 124. A more detailed description of how to use this reference book will be given later in this lecture. The following entry shows that the Polish name of Stegmansdorf is the following. The name of this Polish atlas is called Polska Atlas Drogowy, scale 1 to 200,000. In looking up this Polish town in the index at the back of the atlas, it shows that there are 3 places by that name. At the front of the atlas is an overview map of Poland with major regions in color. This green area circled in red is a part of the former East Prussia area. The map numbers are in white squares. Of the 3 possible places, only map number 17 is in this previous East Prussian area and would be the map we need. The coordinates for this town are 17, A, 2, and 3. Turning to map number 17, at the top of the page is the letter A, which includes the area down to the bottom of the page. The numbers 2 and 3 are found towards the bottom on the left of the map. The Polish town we're looking for is circled in red on the right side of that area. Here you can see this town is above and to the left of the city Orneka, which is the Polish name for the town of Wormdet. Next, I will talk about the use of modern German atlases, the first one being scaled 1 to 200,000, where 1 centimeter equals 2 kilometers. At the beginning of the atlas, there's an overview map giving some locality names and page numbers in red for each map. A locality index in the back of the book. Looking up the town of Alpenrode as an example, the bolded letters WW following the name refer to the cultural area or government district of the Westerwald, or Western Forest, where the town is located. This is followed by the page number 146 and the coordinates HF 45. Begin by turning to page 146. The page number is found on the bottom left of the page. There is a blue vertical line in the middle and a horizontal line at the bottom that divide this page. At the top are the coordinates HE and HF. On the left side, we have the coordinate 45. A search for Alpenrode will need to be made in the HF area, outlined here in green. Alpenrode is found near the top left side of the HF area. The next atlas is Der Große Ari AC Jubiläums Atlas. Again, it is an atlas of modern Germany. It differs in that the scale is 1 to 100,000, where 1 centimeter equals a kilometer. It is twice as detailed as the previous auto atlas. The locality index in the back is a little different for Alpenrode. It gives page number 305 and the coordinate number 19. Turning to page 305, we find block numbers listed numerically on the page. Within block 19, we find Alpenrode. Conducting an area search. This is usually a procedure of last resort. The following are three possible reasons for conducting an area search. The first one is where the christening records show that there was a gap of 6 years between the birth of two of the family's 4 children. If a sick newborn child needed to be christened as soon as possible, and the closest parish was not the one the family was assigned to, the child could be christened and recorded in the closest parish, thus creating the 6-year gap between the birth of 2 of their children in their parish record. The second, if an immigrant ancestor gave the name of a large city in Germany as his place of birth, but no record was found in that city. Immigrants often gave the name of the larger government city to which their village belonged, and not their place of birth. The third is where the birthplace of the father and the children was the same, but the birthplace of the mother and the place of marriage were not known. The place of birth of the mother may be found by checking the place of residence of the witnesses in the christening records of the children. Other records, such as the marriage banns, the mother's death record, church membership records, and census records, may also provide clues. If they don't, then an area search would have to be done. An area search begins by identifying the parishes surrounding the ancestor's parish. For example, for the parish of Alpenrode, an area search would probably include the parishes of Hochenburg, Unau, and Rotenhain. If not, you would continue to expand the circle outward until you found it. I assisted a patron once at the Family Search Library. He was trying to find a U.S. record that would give his ancestors' place of birth in Germany. He found a record in a neighboring county for a man with the same surname, but apparently not related. The neighboring county record said that the man was from Versmold, Westfalen. The patron searched the Versmold records, but his ancestor was not listed. The patron thought his ancestor was probably from a parish near Versmold and wanted to do an area search. I told him an area search was done as a last resort. Having determined that Versmold was in the Prussian province of Westphalen, a check was made in the Westphalen immigration records. His ancestor was listed, and it gave his place of birth as Gofeld, Westphalen. On this map, Versfold is found at the bottom on the left, and Gofeld is found at the top on the right side of the map. They are about 40 miles apart. It is important to be aware of the physical location of towns and parishes and the topographical features in your area of research. People in a town may have to pass a parish to get to the one they are assigned to, as shown by the town of Neester in the red box at the top right side of this map. It shows that they must pass the parish of Hochenburg to get to the parish of Altstadt, to which they are assigned. This is because of Hochenburg's large population. A town may be right next to a parish and be assigned to a parish further away. The town of Wied is closer to the parish of Hürstenbach, but is assigned to the parish of Altstadt. This is due to a river that separates them. Even in using topographical maps, features such as rivers, lakes, and mountains may be hard to see. German research challenges in using modern-day maps and atlases. Historically, Germany's boundaries have changed through the centuries multiple times, affecting foreign countries surrounding it. I will begin with the change that occurred after World War I and World War II. After these wars, places and people ended up being in one of the following countries: Lithuania, Poland, Russia, France, Belgium, Denmark, and the Czech Republic. The following are the steps to finding a former German town on a modern map or atlas. Step 1, determine the modern name of the former German town. Knowing the modern name makes it possible to find it on a modern map or to be able to write for records. Step 2, look up the modern locality name in the map or atlas index to determine the map's coordinates of the town. Step 3, look up the town on the map or atlas. Where there is no map or atlas index, look up the latitude and longitude of the town to locate it on a map or atlas. German Empire areas lost after World War I. In the western area of the German Empire, the northern part of the Prussian province of Schleswig-Holstein was lost to Denmark. The Eupen-Malmedy area in the Prussian province of Rhineland was lost to Belgium, and the Alsace-Lotharingen province was lost to France. In the eastern area of the German Empire, the areas outlined in red were lost to Poland, and the northeast part of the Prussian province of Ostpreußen or East Prussia was lost to Lithuania. German Empire areas lost after World War II. In the western area of the German Empire, Germany was divided into two countries. On the left, West Germany was called the Bundesrepublik Deutschland, abbreviated as BRD. Translated as the Federal Republic of Germany. On the right, East Germany was called the Deutsche Demokratische Republik, abbreviated as the DDR, and the translation is the same, German Democratic Republic. In the eastern area of the German Empire, the area of East Prussia that went to Lithuania after World War I remained with Lithuania after World War II. The central area of East Prussia was lost to Russia and is now called Kaliningrad, which is the Russian name for Königsberg. The small area of the southwest part of the Prussian province of Schlesien was lost to the country that is now called the Czech Republic. The rest of this eastern area was lost to Poland. The problem facing genealogists is that almost every one of the names of the former German towns will be changed to the name in the language of the new country to which they now belong. For example, the German city of Breslau in the Prussian province of Schlesien became the Polish city of Wrocław. If you wanted to look up Breslau on a modern Polish map, you would need to look it up under the Polish name of Wrocław. This is also true if you need to write to the parish for an ancestor's records. Resources used in determining modern locality names. One of the handouts for this lecture is a Genealogical Handbook of German Research, Volume 1, abbreviated as GHGR for short. Chapter 9 in this handbook is on determining the present names of localities. It describes the use of the following three books. The first one is the Deutsch Fremdsprachiges Ortsnamenverzeichnis. Translated as the Register of Locality Names from German to the foreign and from the foreign to German. The second one is the Alphabetisches Ortsnamenverzeichnis der deutschen Ostgebiete unter fremder Verwaltung. Translated as the Alphabetical Register of Localities from German to the foreign locality names. The last one is the USSR-US Board on Geographic Names. Beginning with the Deutsch Fremdsprachige Ortsnamenverzeichnis, it is a two-volume work on the following two rolls of microfilm that have been digitized. Volume 1 is microfilm number 583457. Volume 2 is microfilm number 590387. This resource helps in determining present locality names for those areas of Germany that were lost to foreign countries after World War I. It is alphabetical by country. In other words, Denmark comes before Frankreich or France and Poland. Part 1 gives the German to the foreign name, and Part 2 gives the foreign name to the German name. Using the town of Albrechtshof as an example, the Myers Gazetteer shows that there were multiple towns by that name. This is the first one listed, and it belonged to the Prussian province of Posen in the district of Samter. Looking up Albrechtshof, district of Samter, in volume 1 of the Deutsch Fremd, it shows that its Polish name is Sekowol. At the beginning of this lecture, we used a Polish atlas called Polska Atlas Drogowy to look up the German town of Stegmansdorf on a modern map. The following is another Polish atlas that could also be used, called the Polska Atlas Samochorowy, scale 1 to 300,000. This atlas is not as detailed as the Polska Atlas Drogowy, but it is still extremely helpful. The index in the back of the atlas shows that there are 3 places in Poland by the name of Sakowo. After the name of the town, the area it is from is abbreviated in caps. The one we're looking for is from Posen, which is Poznan in Polish, abbreviated as POZ. 2 of the 3 are from the area Posen, so we can eliminate the first one. To determine the correct one, we may need to look at each map. Beginning with the map of Sakowo on page 110, section 23, information from the Myers Gazetteer entry can help determine if this is the correct map. The Gazetteer shows the post office, uppercase Roman letter P, is at the following place of Podrzewie, which is down and to the left of Sakowo on the map. The train station, uppercase Roman letter E for Eisenbahnstation, is at Poko, which is above and to the right of Sakowo. This verifies that this is the correct map. Areas of Germany lost after World War II. The orange-colored areas are the German areas that went to Poland. The red-colored areas went to Russia, and the small green-colored area became a part of what is now called the Czech Republic. Reference tools used in determining Polish and Russian locality names of former German places after World War II. The book Amtliches Gemeinde- und Ortsnamenverzeichnis der deutschen Ostgebiete unter fremder Verwaltung, microfilm 824243, image number 119, is used to determine the present name of former German official municipalities and localities now under Polish rule. At the beginning of this lecture, I mentioned the above resource in determining a modern Polish name for the town of Stegmansdorf. The following is a more detailed explanation on using this resource. The first column lists the official German locality names as they existed on 1 September 1939. Using the town of Bagen in this example, it was in the Prussian province of West Prussia. Second column refers to the topographical map scale and the page number 2179. The third column is the Gemeinde or municipality name that it belonged to. This shows that it belonged to the Gemeinde of Unterwalde. The fourth column gives the Polish locality name as Bagno, which was established on 1 January 1954. This U.S. resource is used to determine the modern Russian locality names of former German places. It is from the Central Prussian province of East Prussia that became a part of Russia after World War II. This is the Myers Gazetteer entry for the locality of Bajoran in Ostpreußen or East Prussia. Looking at Bajoran using the U.S. Board on Geographic Names for Russia, it gives a C reference to Bajorai, which is the Russian name for Bajoran. It is followed by the abbreviation of POPL, meaning it's a populated area or town. It then gives the latitude and the longitude for it. Determining places of origin. Using maps to determine places of origin. When you think you have exhausted every possibility or every possible source for determining the place of origin of an immigrant ancestor, there may still be resources that you would least expect that can help you. Immigrants often identified the area they were from without naming the exact town. They described hills, mountains, rivers, lakes, etc. near the area they were from. The gazetteer prepared by the U.S. Board on Geographic Names can locate where these features are today. At the beginning of each resource volume is an alphabetical list of geographic and topographic features, a portion of which are shown here, where the German name is given, followed by the English translation. In each volume, after each locality and topographical feature's name, the gazetteer gives the latitude and the longitude. General and detailed maps can then be used to find these coordinates and the closest localities to them. The following are the film numbers for each set of gazetteers for West Germany, East Germany, Denmark, Poland, and Russia. Joseph Huber talked about a small lake called Amarangensee, or lake, where he grew up, but never mentioned the town where he was born. U.S. Census records indicated that he would have been born about 1863 or 64. A search of Germany Federal Republic and West Berlin official standard names approved by the U.S. Board on Geographic Names listed Amaranger See as a pond and gave the latitude as 47.5 degrees north and the longitude as 12.17 degrees east. Checking the latitude and longitude on the overview map of the German Empire showed that it was located in the southeast corner of the Kingdom of Bavaria. Checking the latitude and the longitude on the general map of Bavaria showed that it was located southeast of the city of Munich. Checking the latitude and longitude on Ancestral's Germany topographic maps shows that the Amaranger See on the map, the towns of Schoenstatt and Amerang were close to this lake. A check in Meyer's Gazetteer listed the town of Amerang, but not the town of Schoenstatt. Checking under phonetical spellings of Schoenstatt showed that there was a town by that name near the town of Amerang. A check of the parish records of Amerang for Joseph Huber was nil. A check of the parish record of Schoenstatt showed the following birth entry. Name Joseph Huber, born 26 January 1864 at Wasserburg. Christened 22 May 1864 at Schoenstatt. The father was Xavier Huber and the mother was Elizabeth Hamburger. Using maps to trace occupational movements. The ancestor's name was Leonhard Brenner, born 1813, place of birth Waldkirch, Bavaria, married 1845 at Waldkirch, Bavaria. 3 children were also born at Waldkirch. Death, Waldkirch parish states he died in 1858 at Kufstein between Rosenheim and Kufstein. Kufstein is not listed in the Myers Gazetteer. In one of the local newspapers, the following notice was found, dated 19 August 1856, requesting skilled workers to help with the construction of the railroad between Rosenheim and Kufstein. The following death record for Leonhard Brenner was found in Waldkirch, Bavaria Parish Register death records on 10 June 1858. The first part of the Waldkirch Parish death record shows that Leonhard Brenner, according to the parish notification, died near Rosenheim. Next, it says that he was a railroad worker and Catholic. Then it says Leonhard Brenner was residing for some time in Oberbayern in Austria at the railroad building and turf. He was also married. The cause of death shows that he was killed by lightning. It says that he died on 10 June 1858 at 3 p.m. on the railway between Rosenheim and Kufstein, and that he was buried 11 June 1858 at 4 p.m. at Hopping, district of Rosenheim and parish of Pong, age 45 years. This information was provided according to the notification of the parish administration of Hopping and the parish of Pong, dated 17 June 1858. This map shows the railroad as a blue line beginning at the bottom left at Kufstein, Austria. It travels north, crossing a black line representing the border between Austria and Bavaria, Germany. It travels through Bavaria, crossing the black line into Austria in the top right of the map, ending at St. Georgen, Austria. The red boxes highlight the towns along the railroad where additional records for the Brenner family were found. This is a map of the Bavarian Maximilian Railway. It shows the additional town of Waldkirch, where 3 of Leonhard's children were born, where he was also married and born. Development of Germany's railway system. The black lines on this map of Germany show the railway system in 1849. This map of the German Empire shows Germany's railway system by 1886. By 1913, Germany's railway system was extensive. Occupational movement by river and canal. In the town of Frosa, Saxon Prussia, a man by the name of August Reichmann was listed in this resident record as being a schiffer, another word for sailor, age 57. The town of Frosa is right in the middle of the German Empire, which might seem a strange place for a sailor to work. But it's not strange when you realize that Frosa is along the Elbe River, one of the 7 major waterways in the German Empire. The following map shows the 6 major rivers that flow from the south to the north and northwest into the Atlantic or North Sea and the Baltic Sea. They are the Rhine, the Weser, the Elbe, the Oder, the Warta, and the Vistula. The 7th major river is the Danube, which flows from west to east to the Black Sea. Occupational movements by canals. Along with major rivers, there are also canals. This is the Friedrich Wilhelm Canal that connects the Spree and the Oder rivers. This is the Plower Canal that connects the Havel and the Elbe rivers. This is the Finnhof Canal that connects the Havel and the Oder rivers. And this is the Nordwest Canal that connects the Netze and the Weichsel rivers. These rivers and canals make it possible for commerce to move by water both north and south and east and west. With railroads and waterways, it makes you think that people can travel anywhere they want. But that was not true until after World War I. Prior to 1919, you still had nobility rule. Going from one nobility area to another was much like going from one country to another. In a study on German population movement between 1500 and 1900, it was determined that less than 10% of the population moved from one nobility area to another. The study included the 10 nobility areas that made up the 1871 German Empire and included the movement of 181,115 families who lived in 53,091 places within those 10 nobility areas. Of the 181,115 families, 13,343 or 7% moved from their nobility area to a different one, and 177,271 families or 93% moved from one town to another within their own nobility area. That means that once you determine the town your ancestor was from, your research will probably be confined to the nobility area it is in. That can be important and helpful to know because records and research procedures can vary from one nobility area to another. Determining historical changes in nobility areas. Once you know the ancestral town and the nobility area it belonged to, you need to understand that as you extend your line back in time, the name of the town usually does not change, but the nobility area it belongs to probably will. This is important to know because if the nobility area changes, the records you need to use could change as well. And if you do not know the name of the earlier nobility areas and the time periods they existed, you could end up missing records that could help you with your ancestral research, or worse, it could cause your ancestral line to dead end. Causes of nobility changes. In Germany, changes in nobility areas were not because of increases in the population as they were in the U.S. with the creation of new counties. German nobility areas were usually changed by marriage, by inheritance, or by conquest. To determine the nobility areas, you must first determine the longitude and latitude of the ancestral town. Step 1, using the town of Weilburg, Hessen, Germany as an example, the latitude and longitude can be determined by searching online. For Weilburg, the latitude is 50.4859 degrees north, and the longitude is 8.272 degrees to 3 degrees east. To locate the town's coordinates on a general map of the German Empire, make a copy of the map so you can mark and draw the latitude and longitude lines on it. Mark the borders where the longitude and latitude would be. Draw your lines where they pass the point of intersection. Step 3, make a note of the name of the nobility area or Prussian province where the lines intersect. In this example, it is the Prussian province of Hessen-Nassau. Make a copy of the nobility or provincial map. Repeat the process of drawing the latitude and longitude lines. Where they intersect is where the town is located on this map. And here you can see the town of Weilburg is listed on it. Whether you can see the town's name or not is immaterial. The important thing is where the latitude and longitude intersect. That is where your town is. You can now look at any map for any time period on any scale, and as long as you can see where the latitude and longitude lines intersect, you know where your town is. Step 4, the last step is to determine where the latitude and longitude lines intersect on historical maps for different time periods to see if the nobility or provincial area for your own town has changed. One of the best and most detailed historical atlases is the Westermann's Großer Atlas zur Weltgeschichte, or the Westermann's Grand Map of World History. Other maps and atlases can be accessed online. After logging in on the Family Search, click on the Search tab. From the drop-down box, click on Research Wiki. On the Research Wiki, in the Search by Place or Topic, type Atlases and click Enter. On the search results page, scroll down and click on Germany Historical Geography. On the Germany Historical Geography page, scroll down to Online German Historical Atlases and click on the F.W. Putzger's Historischer Schul Atlas. Translated as the F.W. Putzger's Historical School Atlas. This map plate, number 28 from Putzger's Historical School Atlas, shows Germany from 1815 to 1866. The place where the red lines for the latitude and longitude cross pinpoints where the town of Weilburg is. The red star shows that at this time Weilburg belonged to the Herzogtum or Duchy of Nassau. If we looked at the Family Search Library catalog under Nassau Herzogtum, the Duchy of Nassau, we would see the following records and resources that would pertain to Weilburg during this time period. This is a map of Germany in 1547 at the time of the Reformation. In this enlargement, circled in red is the Grafschaft, meaning county of Nassau. A Graf was a count who ruled a county. The place where Weilburg would be is marked by the red star. In the Family Search catalog under Nassau Grafschaft, we have more information that would pertain to Weilburg for this time period. Locating an ancestral parish in large cities. Cities like Berlin, Hamburg, Munich had 30 or more parishes. Resources used to identify an ancestor's parish in large city include city maps in the Myers Gazetteer. A handout for this lecture lists the cities with maps and street indexes. The second one is resources that may give the ancestor street address in Germany, such as address books, letters from family in Germany, Abmeldung and Anmeldung, which are move out and move in registers, and some census records. The following is a good example of doing research in a large city like Berlin. Family information on Ludwig Luder. He was a shoemaker by trade. His father, Wilhelm Luder, a shoemaker as well. He was born in Berlin. He was Lutheran, which narrows the search down to 70 parishes. To look up German address books in the Family Search Library catalog, you must look under the name of the town and under the subheading Directories, and then under Address Books. A check for the city of Berlin in the Family Search Library catalog for address books showed that Berlin had them from 1799 to 1964. Address books list family heads alphabetically by looking by surname, given name, occupation, and address. In looking up the surname of Luder for Ludwig's father Wilhelm, the following three possibilities were found. We have a Luder, W period, who was a Schankwert, a tavern keeper on Bentlerstrasse 23. Then we have a Luder, Wilhelm, a shoemaker or shoemaker on Middle Street, number 1. We have another Luder, W period, who was also a shoemaker or shoemaker, but on Mittelstrasse 62. The last two may be the same family. One could be the residence, the other the shoe shop. Knowing the name of the street gives 2 ways of determining which of the 70 parishes was the one that the Luder family went to. One is to check for any special indexes for the city that identify which streets belong to each parish. For Berlin, the following online source provides a list of streets and the parishes they belong to. It's called Berlin Evangelical, meaning Lutheran, Parish Jurisdictions by Sonia Nishimoto. This website showed that Middle Street belonged to Dorothea and Stott Parish. Had there not been a special index for Berlin, then the following process would have been followed. Using the Myers Gazetteer on Ancestry.com to first look up the city map of Berlin. Second, to check for the street in the street index. Third, obtain the map coordinates for the street. After logging on to Ancestry.com, click on the Search tab, and from the drop-down box, click on Card Catalog. Using the keyword search, type in Germany Gazetteer and click Search. Click on the Myers Gazetteer of the German Empire in German. Under the heading Browse this collection, click on Choose down arrow. After clicking on the letter B, scroll down to Berlin, Stadtpläne and Straßenverzeichnis, the Berlin city map and street index. Before turning to the map of Berlin, we need to look up Middle Street in the street index. Under the heading Straßenverzeichnis, the streets are listed alphabetically. Scroll down until you come to Mittel. At the end of the line, it shows Middle Street is on map number 1 with map coordinates CD3. On map number 1, the vertical columns are listed with alphabetical letters A through G on the top of the map. In the margins on the left and right, the horizontal columns are marked with numbers 1 through 6. Letters C and D are marked at the top of the map, and number 3 is marked on the left side of the map. A green line has been drawn to show the division between columns C and D. By clicking on this map image, you can enlarge it. On this enlargement of the map, you can see the green line that separates the vertical columns of C and D. Middle Street will start in column C, and then it will cross over the green line into column D. That will make it easier to find. As you follow the green line down, you will come to Middle Street, shown here underlined in yellow. Now that we have found the street, the next step is to find the closest parish to that street. On these detailed city maps, the churches have their names printed in black, as shown in this example of the Französische Kirche, or the French church. They are also marked by a black cross on the red figure of the map. Going back to Middle Street, we begin looking for the closest church to that street. We don't have to look very far because there is a church just to the left of Middle Street called Dorotheenstadtkirche, or the Dorothy City Church. The small cross is shown right above its name. It was in the Dorotheenstadt Church, City Church, that Ludwig Luder's birth record was found. Additional resources used to locate places on maps. In Heckershausen, Hessen Castle, marriage resident was at the marriage record. It stated that the bridegroom's father's residence was in Wallershausen. A search was made in the Myers Gazetteer for Wallershausen, but it was not listed. In webinar number 3 on understanding German records and jurisdictions, it was mentioned that if what appears to be a German locality but is not listed in the Myers Gazetteer, you should check the Myers Konversationslexikon or the Myers Encyclopedia in case it's a cultural or topographical area. As you can see, a search of the Myers Encyclopedia was also negative. Earlier in the lecture, I talked about using the U.S. Board on Geographic Names for the Federal Republic of Germany to find geographic and topographic features on maps. This same resource identifies other locality features as well. In Volume 1 of the Federal Republic of Germany, Wallershausen is listed as a SECP. The abbreviation list in this volume shows that an SECP means it was a section of a populated area. In other words, a suburb. It gave its latitude and longitude as 51.19 degrees north and 9.26 degrees east. Locating the latitude and longitude on the map of the German Empire of 1871, the lines cross in the Prussian province of Hesse-Nassau. Locating the latitude and longitude on the general map of Hesse-Nassau pinpoints the place near the city of Kassel. Using the city map of Kassel found in the Myers Gazetteer on the bottom of the map, it shows the city of Wilhelmshöhe on the left, the western part of the city Kassel on the right. In between is what became the Kassel suburb of Wallershausen. This concludes webinar number 6 on the use of maps and atlases in German genealogical research.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. We hope you will join us for our next webinar, which is on February 22nd with Catherine Grant. She will be giving a presentation on observation and common sense, 2 valuable family history tools that everyone can use. A recording of this webinar will be made available next week. You can view that on our YouTube channel or on our website. If you have any comments or questions, you can always email us at fh_webinars@byu.edu or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you and have a wonderful week.